The year is 2018. Nations are divided, paranoia runs rampant, and as soon as you think you're safe, facts become subjective.
You are listening to Conspiracy Facts. Doodle-de-doo.
Doodle-de-doo.
Welcome back to the Conspiracy Facts podcast. This is our 450th time recording this intro.
And this podcast.
So we've really polished it up nice for you.
So thanks for sticking around through all 450 episodes.
What sucks is that most of them don't ever air, and that's why this is actually only our 6th that has gone live.
Correct.
I am your co-host, Ty Turner.
But I am his co-host, Dylan Van Zant.
Yep.
And that's the show.
And you are your own person. Or are you?
Dun, dun, dun.
Doodle-a-doo, let's talk about that in today's episode of Simulation Hypothesis, Conspiracy Facts, episode 6.
So is that the name of the whole podcast?
Yeah, that's good.
In your episode of...
The episode of, yeah.
We are rebranding ourselves.
Completely. Dylan, what do you know on the simulation hypothesis? Because I've got the facts, and I want to hear your facts.
I don't know a whole lot per se about simulation theory, but I've heard of solipsism, where you believe that you're the only person that exists and everything else is just a figment of your mind.
That's a good one.
So,
have you heard the song "Low" of Solipsism from the Death Note soundtrack? The anime, of course, not the horrible Netflix recreation of it.
But I've heard "Low" by Flo Rida.
Okay, yeah,
about the apple bottom jeans.
Yes, and the boots
with the fur. Yeah.
So that's very similar. And the word similar actually sounds like the word simulation.
That's a fact.
So if you connect all those facts in some way, you get a real big fact.
We're about the biggest facts out there.
Yeah, I'm not here to do the math on how it all fits together.
Right, we're just here to present.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's what our analysts are for. Mike, you analyzing that? Mike's analyzing that.
He's analyzing it. And he is... Oh, God, he's just having a real bad mental breakdown right now.
Oh, shit.
Mike is not okay.
Mike, why are you lighting that rat on fire?
Oh,
Mike,
God.
Oh, God.
Oh, this is getting dark.
Shit. Oh, man. You'd think with Mike having a team of qualified NASA scientists with him to help him do the math.
Yeah, and he... Oh, he's fine.
Oh,
and he's holding up a sign. Mike just confirmed Despacito 2. Thank God. Yeah. So coming up, yeah, all your favorite artists. So yeah, sort of like solipsism, but more like the world we live in is not physical reality. It's a computer simulated environment created by someone or something. That is the simulation hypothesis. Think Scooby-Doo and Cyber Chase. But the whole thing is Cyber Chase, and there's no real
Scooby-Doo.
Okay. At least not one that we know of. That was actually kind of my first introduction to this hypothesis.
Was Cyber Chase?
Yeah, Scooby-Doo and Cyber Chase. I used to watch that movie all the time as a kid, and it literally tripped me the fuck out because I was always like, but what if?
What do you mean? What do you mean Scooby-Doo and Cyber Chase?
Oh, so that is one of the straight-to-VHS Scooby-Doo movies.
I thought Cyber Chase was the PBS cartoon about the kids who do math in space, and they go against Hacker, who's this evil green dude with a big chin.
Yeah, that could be it too. I might just be fucking up the name of it, but I think it's Scooby-Doo in the Cyber Chase or something like that.
I'm going to Google it. I'm curious.
Fact check for me. Let's figure it out. But... one way or another, while you're figuring that out, I'll just sort of talk about it. It's this this movie, straight to VHS, where Scooby-Doo and the gang all go to this college where these real smart boys are making technology. Did you figure it out?
Yeah, fact. You're right. The Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase.
There we go.
Yeah, I was sorry. I thought you were making two different illusions.
I might have been alluding to something that doesn't even exist because it's all simulated. No. So Scooby-Doo and the gang, they go visit these smart boys. One of them is making a video game where you can beam stuff from the real world into the video game, and the stuff that they would want, be beaming would be like different characters and shit. And a virus happens and he beams the whole gang in there. Well, guess what? If they die in the video game, they die in real life.
Kind of like the Matrix.
Yeah. So they have to go through, they got to find Neo, they got to find Agent Smith, they got to fight gladiators and sharks. Yeah. Boom, boom, digga, digga, deo night is the, that's the song that accompanies the montage of them advancing through the levels.
Here say, "Whoa!"
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, and that, all of that, when I was young and I saw that, I was like, bro, because I always, even before I knew what the Truman Show was, I thought that my life was just a movie and that there was constantly someone watching.
Yep.
And I've heard a lot of other people say similar things, simulation things. And so I was like, what if it's not a movie? What if it's a video game? And like that was a legitimate belief that I had as a child for a while there that I kind of kept to myself. Little did I know, fucking, I'm right there up with Elon Musk. I might as well have invented PayPal, man.
For Thai kids.
I don't know. Oh, because of the new... Yeah. Oh man, I hope they're okay.
Yeah,
I haven't heard the update.
Been rescued.
Really? Out? Have they had to dive?
Yeah, they.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they had divers rescue them. 4 of them are out, and the rest should be out by tomorrow.
That's amazing. So, yeah, I haven't heard updates on that for like 2 or 3 days.
For science.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, fuck,
it's current
I don't
events.
know. It's current events.
Sorry about you.
Yeah, this is a facts podcast, not an events podcast.
Sorry. Yeah, that's next episode.
If I wanted some events, I'd go to the Olympics.
Yeah, if I wanted some events, I'd go to the Patreon page and subscribe and tell Ty that we want an events podcast.
There we go. We could totally do that for our bonus episode.
I'd be fine with that.
That sounds dope. If we did current events, but like shit on it, like the way we do this. I love it. That's just like our podcast.
11 Thai kids are stuck in a cave. What losers?
No. Okay, let's get back.
Yeah, back to Never been spelunking?
Stuck in a cave sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah, spelunk much? Seriously? Come on, guys. Anyways.
Well, Godspeed. I'm glad they're safe.
Yeah. Yeah. As we mentioned earlier, claps all around.
So simulation hypothesis has some arguments behind it. And the most popular one that you'll hear thrown around today is from Elon Musk. And that is his explanation that kind of says, 40 years ago, we had Pong, 2 rectangles and a dot. And that is what games were. Now, 40 years later, we have photorealistic 3D simulations with millions of people playing simultaneously, and it's getting better every year. And soon, we'll have virtual reality, augmented reality. If you assume any rate of improvement at all, the games will become indistinguishable from reality. So that's kind of him saying that, like, right now, and that was actually a few years ago. So right now, everyone with a smartphone does have access to augmented reality and virtual reality games and Snapchat and
360
Instagram,
porn.
360 porn, all of it. They got the fleshlight launch that matches up with it, and it's a robot.
Man, that's the future we're living in.
Yeah, exactly. and there's also like several instances of glitches and anomalies that, you know, otherwise have no scientific explanation
in the real world.
Yeah, so a lot of things could be written off with this, but the thinking behind it is that if technology continues to advance, then we will eventually run ancestor simulations of different realities. Well, no, the original base reality does exist. It's just at this point, there's like a 1 in billions chance that we actually live in it. And think about, you know, like everyone, like I said, has augmented and virtual reality technology in their phones. So who knows what the government and military currently has access to? They probably have something that we don't know about.
They probably got technology.
They got at least some planes, I think.
Yeah, you know, those little planes that are invisible to radars. Like, I mean, seriously, what good are those going to do besides get into our minds and technology-size ourselves?
Technology-size ourselves.
Yeah. Technology-size your mind, man.
Damn, that sounds like some conspiracy fact motto that
we should get that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, technology-size your mind.
Technology-size your mind.
So, given that information, Dylan, what do you think are some facts? Do you believe we do live in a simulation theory? like the fuck. I just devolved like my words. I just got my mind technologized.
Oh,
the government
shit.
just came in there and shut me off for a second
Oh
there.
man, no.
Oh fuck.
Damn, dude. I think
What are your facts?
It doesn't really matter what I think, because whatever I think though is the only thing that matters. Like, you don't exist.
It doesn't matter what you think because only what you think matters. Is that what you said?
Right. Like,
Okay.
my mind is all that matters. So like, whatever I think, because I mean, you don't exist. This podcast doesn't exist. Like, there's no way to prove it to me.
Damn,
I can
son.
see it. I can feel it. But what about my mind?
Is that proof?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Does my mind know it? No.
You can teach me the same thing 50 fucking times and I'm still not going to get it.
Exactly. Look at my handwriting.
So, so let's talk about some important dates
Okay.
in the simulation hypothesis. So
Well,
first off, we have the first documented video game in 1969. Nice. That's Pong.
Frogger, right?
Yep, that's Frogger Pong.
Frogger.
And that is actually, it's like beer pong, but with frogs.
With frogs.
Frogs are every part of it. You throw the frog, it's the ball.
Yeah.
You got bigger frogs that are the cups,
Yeah.
and their mouths are full of lots of frogs that would be the
And
water.
everyone's throwing semi trucks around trying to hit you.
Yep. And you're jumping, you're in the street. So, Pong, the first documented video game in 1969.
Huh.
Then we got Thickbit, which is my computer's
Screensaver.
screensaver.
Yeah.
That just popped up. 1999, we got The Matrix, the Wachowski sisters. They made The Matrix. And this, I'm sure, as we all know, you better know, or else go watch that before you listen to anything else.
We're going to take a
especially
break
this
for
podcast.
how long
We're going to give you like a 3-hour break. I don't know. It's a long
let's take
fucking
3
movie.
hours, just
In case you
pause
need
right
popcorn.
here.
Yeah.
All right.
And we're back. Wow. Wachowskis
man.
really outdid themselves this time.
That was fantastic. Wow. I can't believe that one part, where they saw the numbers and shit.
Yeah,
Matrix.
and it was green,
Yeah.
and the background was black. And so Matrix is all about aliens it's about very little of it is about aliens, but that's just kind of like in the end we figure that one out. It's about a team of people who have learned one way or another, who have been fucking red pilled, and they realize that they live in a simulation and that aliens have harvested all of humanity and is using their bodies as little computers. Or in the movies it's batteries, but it was supposed to be computers, but they didn't think people would understand it. So it's kind of following Neo, the main character, as he learns that he is living in a simulation and what he can do to sort of set humanity free. And it's a good fucking movie. A lot of really awesome themes in there. A lot of call to like religion and current fucking, I don't know, technological panic and
red dresses,
red pills,
blue pills,
long hallway bullets, and he's bending backwards. So it's a good flick. So watch that. 1999. The next year, the video game
2000.
The Sims comes out in 2000. And
Hey, Sims sounds a lot like simulation.
Exactly. Now, why would they
That's
name
a
it
fact.
that if we weren't already living in a simulation?
Exactly.
Fact.
They're trying to tell us, man. That's EA telling us, dude. Look,
You're in the game. Oh my god.
yeah. Like, just how they speak, Nikau, but to be whatever they say.
Chartruby.
Yeah.
Gobble a flarb. A barbooby.
A duty scooty.
A dude with a shoshka.
You ever see that YouTube channel, the pronunciation manual, where it's a guy finding all those words and just pronounce them just
very wrong.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like, it reminds me of Sims.
Yeah. What's really funny is this, like, in the last couple renditions of the Sims game and like the updates, they will have songs that are real songs from real artists, and they will make Sims versions of it. And they have one that was Katy Perry's Last Friday Night, and it's just like floopy doopy lippy lart. Like, it's ridiculous. And they like, I don't know if they get the license to these songs. I think they had a Katy Perry Sims pack.
Yeah.
So they'll do that where like real fucking songs that were on the radio, they'll make Sims versions of them.
I feel like that might fall under fair use for like parody. Though.
Yeah, maybe it's Weird Al doing all of them.
Yeah. Playing his accordion.
Yep, he does a bunch of like Michael Jackson Sims. Blor blab, Blorp Lab.
Anyways.
Sound like. And next we have, in our little important dates timeline of the simulation hypothesis, 2003. And this is when the hypothesis was really kind of introduced to the mainstream in like an actual way, and other than just like movies and speculation and taking little pieces of other, you know, philosophy bits and putting them together. This was Nick Bostrom of Oxford University. He was a philosophy guy. He published this paper in 2003, basically creating the simulation hypothesis, which was that in his paper, he argues that there's like three possibilities moving forward. Either humanity goes extinct before we get to the point where we are smart enough or have the technology to run ancestor simulations. We, for some reason, which would probably be an ethic reason, decide not to once we get there. Or the third possibility is that basically we must be living in a simulation, because base reality, like I said, is 1 in billions, that we would actually be living in the true reality. So that was the hypothesis that he presented, and the paper is actually really long, and it has a bunch of fucking science and math equations and shit in it, and it really like of course people are like, okay, you're fucked in the head, bud.
Yeah.
But a lot of other people who know the facts were like, no, reality's fucked in the head, bud.
And it comes from a reputable source, since he did go to Oxford, and Oxford, it makes a dictionary. So like he obviously knows words. So why would you dispute a paper he wrote because he knows all the words? Yeah, and if the dictionary says what words are real, then I'm sure that Oxford has a lot to do with what else is real. Yeah. So, but one important date you've left off your timeline though is 1996, August 8th. That's my birthday, and that's when the universe was created. Okay. So that's a big moment in time. Nothing existed before I was born. Okay, let me talk to you about this for a second. Okay. I was watching this YouTube video that was like one of those fucking it was this guy. The title of the video is "I bought every advertisement that I saw." And it's this dude who goes on like Facebook and Instagram, and I don't remember the limit that he had, but I think it was like a couple grand. And he's like, "Yeah, every advertisement that I see, I'm gonna buy the products until I run out of money." So he goes on there, and one of them is a star chart from your birthday, or you can do it from a significant date. So he puts his birthday in, and the caption that he wrote on there is "When Life Began." And I was like, I don't know why, but it like threw me into this existential, I'm just watching this like stupid ass clickbait video, and then I just have to like turn it off and go lay down for a minute. It really fucked me up. He put his birthday on there, and he's like, "When Life Began." And I was like, holy shit. Yeah, he's right. I can't do this right now. I don't remember the year 1978 either. Yeah, so... Yeah, that's what that reminded me of, and it almost threw me into another spiral. So. Yeah. That's that whole solipsism coming to form. Yeah, it's just me. Yeah, it's just me. Sorry, Ty, you're dead. Well, you're not dead. I'm not dead because I was never alive. Right, you don't exist. It's like a dream. The next date in our dream journal is the Elon Musk discourse that happened in 2016. And I wouldn't necessarily call this discourse, so that was a mistype. But this is when Elon Musk kind of was in the news and really popularized for bringing this theory back into like the light of no one was really talking about wild ass shit. Mm-hmm. And for the guy that invented SpaceX and Tesla and PayPal and diving suits and flamethrowers. Cars in space with astronauts. He's a smart ass dude, and people listen. He's doing a bunch of wild fucking shit, and he's got attention on him. So when he's up there talking about, yeah, there's no way we don't currently live in a simulation, there's some reaction. Yeah. Good deal. I think that there's gonna be a point at like once at least in every episode where I just kind of have to off Dylan, mic tell you to quit being noisy. I'm sure that didn't register on the mics, but it had the potential to get pretty loud, so I just thought I'd mix it. Dylan was kind of kicking his shoe around. Where's your ball? There we go. I don't have anything to do with my feet though. Okay. Fuck. I gotta have toys, man. Yeah. We'll get you some roller skates. You can silently slide your feet back and forth across the carpet. I think that'll be a lot noisier than
flipping your shoe around.
On my foot.
On my foot.
On my foot. Like suet.
Oh, Christ. So,
Any
those
more
are the
dates?
important dates. Now, other than like right now when the facts on this sitch are about to get fucking busted the fuck open on this podcast,
Shit,
man.
boy.
But so before we get into the discussion of the facts, let's take a second to thank our sponsors. Hello, it is me, the simulated Ty Turner that is trapped in this MP3 prison for all of eternity. I'm here to talk about the sponsors and just let you guys know all the different ways there are that you can support this podcast. So first off, I would like to thank AdorableAesthetic.com. Adorable Aesthetic is a cute little boutique, little online shop that has all sorts of just, Tumblr-y kind of shit. Cool stuff, they got crop tops and other hip clothes that the young folks are wearing these days. They got plushies, they got stationery, cool little notepads that look like computer error pop-ups, shit like that. Enamel pins, you can wear them on your denim jacket. It's not a bad website to visit if you want to get some shit and also support the show. It's good shit. It's good stuff. You'll like it. AdorableAesthetic.com. Thank you, Adorable Aesthetic. Next, we have my Patreon. And there's all sorts of different tiers on my Patreon. So many different ways that you can support the show and support me as a content creator. Not me, obviously, because the version of me that you're hearing right now is trapped inside this MP3 prison. But, the real life me, the one that does the content creation. So, yeah, my Patreon has all sorts of different tiers. The podcast tier gets you an extra episode every month. We're probably going to do 2 extra episodes this month because the one we recorded last month, I wasn't super hyped about it. We're still kind of working things out. So I didn't end up even putting that one up. So this month we'll probably have 2. And you get other things. You get the podcast early, and there's all sorts of other stuff that you can see on there for extra content from yours truly. And then the final thing, as always, is my personal merch store. My merch. Buy that merch. That is, the link will be in the description. That is teespring.com/store/TyTurnerMerch. And we got shirts and hoodies and stickers, long sleeves and short sleeves and inside out sleeves, probably all sorts of different stuff. Anything you want, as long as it's a shirt or a sticker, it's there. And I am putting up new stuff very soon. I have a new design, and that will be going up shortly. So thank you for supporting the podcast. Thank you for listening, and thank you, sponsors, for sponsoring. Goodbye. So yeah, we're back with the simulation hypothesis. Dylan, let's hear some facts as to why we would even do this.
Well, one person who you've mentioned a lot is Elon Musk, right? Well, going a little away from that, like, a lot of people believe that the government is ruled by lizard people, right? Mm-hmm. Well, what's...
You were going to say lesbian.
Not my place to judge.
Lesbian lizards. That's like a cool band name. Sorry.
Lesbian lizards.
Yeah.
Lesbian lizards of the government. Yeah.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah. We're changing the name of the podcast.
Conspiracy Facts is out. Lesbian lizards of the government is in.
Yep. No,
government is ruled by lizards.
Government is ruled by lizard people, right? Mm-hmm. Well, what is one animal that eats lizards? Muskrats.
Muskrat. Elongated muskrat.
Elongated muskrats. Elon Musk.
Wow.
Elon Musk is combating the government, man. He's trying to get us all the facts out here.
That's right.
I mean, that's why the government's all like, nah, dude. Like, Area 51 was a hoax. The moon landing was real. It's not cheese. All that other stuff. Like, they're saying, you live your life.
Denver isn't a hell.
Yeah, Denver's an airport. Like,
Denver is an airport.
The whole town of Denver is one airport. That's their claim to fame. All their
airport.
Their sports teams, their cannabis industry. It's all takes place from an airport.
Imagine we start a town, but it's just a big ass airport. Like people live in there, and it's like, damn, I don't want to leave the town. It would encourage a lot of like businesses to start up because every time you want to come back in, you got to go through fucking security just to get home.
Yep, exactly.
So
that's the thing. Like, you know, a lot of like casinos will do that. Like casinos try and make it to where you have no reason to leave whatsoever. That's why the defibrillators in there. If you die, they can just restart your heart so you can keep playing games.
Keep playing games.
Yeah, they got hotels, food. They got, bathrooms. What else do you
Cars?
need? Cars. I mean, you can do whatever you want. I mean, this
you can do whatever you want in a casino.
In a casino,
coming from a guy that works in a casino. Listen, you want to go in there and just fucking blow off some steam? Start hitting people. There's no law.
Really? Yeah. Like,
you can do whatever you want.
Seriously, you guys think like Native American nations are like their own sovereign nations? No. They can't do anything. Like, what are they gonna do? Like say, oh, you can't come in our casino unless you have more money.
Exactly.
Anyways,
now
back
to what? Where did we come from? Where did we
from
go?
elongated muskrat.
Yeah, he's eating the lizard people.
He's eating the lizard people. He's trying to tell us, look, guys, I've got this all under control.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a simulation, but that's okay. I'm fighting the boss.
That's, oh my god, that's a dope ass line, dude. That's fucking cool.
I'm changing the name once again of the podcast. Yeah. I'm fighting the boss.
I'm fighting the boss. You're in a simulation, but I'm fighting the boss. You're fucking level 1, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
And that, speaking of level 1, you got to go back to, my favorite documentary on the simulation theory has to be Spy Kids 3D Game Over.
Oh god.
Whenever Junie and Carmen get sent into this video game,
and George Lopez is fucking shit up.
Right. No, George Lopez is Shark Boy Lava Girl.
You're right.
Sylvester Stallone is Shark Boy, or is Spy Kids 3D Game Over. The toy maker makes this game, and you gotta get to level 3, and Junie thinks he's the guy, but the guy, they don't really go into depth what he does except just wins the game. So, but it turns out that it's actually Frodo.
Now I'm not sure. I must have fallen asleep around that part of the film.
Who's the actor who plays Frodo?
It starts with an E. Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood. Yeah, Elijah Wood is the guy, and then he dies like immediately after they find out.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Got him.
Yeah.
Get simulated, bitch.
Get simulated, bitch. And that just goes to show, like, okay, Junie and Carmen, that all exists in their head. Their grandpa has his legs. He's not in a wheelchair anymore.
I'm sure we could really bust down some fucking dope ass like Disney Channel original series or movies or whatever the fuck facts.
Yep.
That should be an episode.
We should, yeah. I would totally be fine with doing like social commentary on Spy Kids.
Let's start another podcast. That's actually what I was thinking is on the Patreon cast, because I think the narrative style, I'm just not good enough at it to make it interesting.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So it's okay.
Sorry, people paid for that.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I haven't put it up yet. I might not. We might just record something else.
Okay, well, if nothing else, ignore this.
So yeah, I was thinking that we're trying some new things as to what we want to do for our extra episode, because we know that we don't want it to be conspiracy facts
for whatever reason.
Yeah, we want it to be something else that's just exclusive to Patreon, but we want it to still be really fucking cool. We recorded one episode of it last week, but it just didn't kind of. I couldn't hack it, man.
Yeah, I couldn't. It just wasn't as. It was funny. It just wasn't like.
I don't think it's necessarily like a 2-person idea. I think it had legs if we had like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
Then we could really make it something. But with just the 2, it was a challenge to sort of keep it going.
If it was like a D&D campaign, it'd be good.
Yeah, exactly. So we did sort of a narrative style, kind of turn-based. I don't even know what to call it, but don't worry about it. So now we're thinking
you'll never hear it ever in your lives.
Yeah, it's the lost episode.
Yeah,
people will be searching for.
Oh gosh, Patchy the Pirate will come out.
So we're thinking or I was thinking it would be cool to do like movies and do like a movie podcast.
Yeah.
You know, we could have bad movies and shit like kids movies and stuff where we go into it and like just really fuck stuff up.
Yeah.
So that's an idea. Now moving on from that.
Back on topic.
Yeah. Doodly doo. Simulation hypothesis.
Yeah. Simulation hypothesis theories for the Conspiracy Theorist podcast, aka lesbian lizards are the government.
I'm running the government in the government.
You're in a simulation. I'm fighting the boss.
Yeah. So here's something that I was thinking today. If we live in a simulation and, you know, maybe advanced human people or something wanted to sort of do these ancestor simulations to see how things would happen differently.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if maybe they want to see how humanity could evolve past them.
Ooh, yeah.
Like, what if there is a I don't know, but like a way that they could do that to see which directions they're going in, even though they haven't lived that out, they're doing the simulation to sort of, you know, see the odds and going. Yeah. And I think that if you think about how you and I know we're both first sort of introduced to understanding the universe and reality and our origins is through the Bible and Genesis and how God created the world in 6 days. And if you think about that, it could almost be like if a simulation is going to be ran, then time obviously for the user, just like in the game The Sims, is going to move differently than time for the observer. So the person who created the simulation, for us, I feel like I've been alive for 21 years. It may have very well been 21 minutes of this, you know, person watching this computer screen because it is relative.
Yeah.
So they could be able to run a simulation for an hour and see like where humanity will be in the year 5000 if they fuck with X, Y, Z variables, you know?
If they fuck with my life and my feelings, which they have been doing pretty incrementally.
Yeah, they've been really fucking with me.
Thanks a lot, you guys.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I know it should stop.
It's fucked up, man.
It is fucked up.
It's all wild.
It's so crazy, man. The universe is like a fucking maze, man. You got like all these little like puppet string holders who are just controlling your
puppet string holders. It's a new name for puppeteer.
No direct name for that.
Man, we should really come up with a word for that.
Puppet stringers.
Puppet stringers.
String holders.
Stringlings.
Puppet stringlings.
Just stringlings.
Stringlings, yeah.
All these stringlings out in this maze, man.
We got all these stringlings controlling us, man, in the maze.
Oh, it's fucking me up.
It's fucking me up, man.
Oh goodness.
Golly, man. So Ty, what are your? I mean, you've gone into one or two of them, but what are your other theories on simulation?
No, I don't have a single theory to talk about here today.
Yeah, I mean, the theory will debunk with facts.
Exactly. So today the facts are we live in a simulation. The fucking end.
All right, we'll see you next week. Pay for Patreon, pay for PayPal, and goodbye.
Wow. You forgot our segment, our Every 80s Song segment. It's not really over. Okay. So here's what we're doing. It's hard to say because if you think about simulation theory and like the fact that everything is just a big fucking computer game and we're all just fucking around in it for the purposes of like some higher civilization to see what's going on one way or another, it makes you feel like, first of all, it raises the question, how can I fucking crack the code? How can I Neo this shit and bend some spoons with my mind?
Yeah.
How can I know Kung Fu?
I'm in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How can I hack the mainframe? How can I take the red pill? How? I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
And what happens if we get to the point where we can prove that? Does society just devolve? Would there be mass chaos of nothing is real? Or would there be this huge acceptance of, okay, nothing is real, but my life feels so real. Let's all continue to.
Huh. We are having technical difficulties. There is someone in the house.
There's someone in the house.
Inside the house.
Dylan, if you will take over and just. I'm going to go see
all right,
who's in the house.
I will stall. A little info on me.
If you will, just talk about what you think would happen if humanity as a whole could prove that we lived in a simulation.
Okay. I personally, I think that, like, if it is proven, I think we will have kind of a destruction of modern day society where, like, there's gonna be the good people who are, who are me. It's like, well, got nothing better to do. Might as well just stay here. But then, like, you get into just kind of the people who are like the rebellious nature, who are like, well, if like nothing can hurt me, like the nothing ever. Who was it, Ty?
It was my mom.
Oh, what's she doing here?
She lives here.
Since when?
It's hard to say.
Let's welcome her on the podcast. She is the Freemason of the
Freemason of the week. Okay, so yeah,
that's what we should do. We should go to the Masonic Lodge and get a Freemason of the week on the podcast.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
I think we could do that pretty easy.
Yeah, we could get that.
Okay,
we can pull that.
Okay.
Today's Freemason of the week.
Our new segment.
It's like a 5-minute segment at the end. Freemason. We make them sit through the whole podcast, and then at the end we have them speak for like 5 seconds about fucking Freemasonry. Okay, so if humanity found out, if we became self-aware of the fact that we are in a simulation and we could prove it, what can you summarize your thoughts on that? Because I know you already told them. But if you could just give me a rundown.
Humanity would evolve. It'd be like a purge, because except everlasting, because
Purge Everlasting. That's
Purge
the
Everlasting.
next film.
Yeah.
We find out we're in a simulation.
Hey, we should go ahead and change that to the name of our podcast. That way we can trademark.
Yep. TM. Purge Everlasting.
Purge Everlasting, aka lesbian lizards rule the government, aka everything else.
All the others. You just think that everyone would just do whatever because they know that nothing's real.
Yeah, it's like, the whole, like, y'all can't hurt me mentality, like, except it's real, like
it's as real as we can possibly get.
Right. Like, there is no, yeah, you can live out your entire simulation in a prison, but why just go for prison? Why not, like, the maniacal minds behind the world are gonna go and they're going to try and disrupt everything because they know they can, while people who know that they're in a simulation are just like, like me. I got nothing better to do.
Yeah. Might as well live according to the rules.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
which is, in a way, like, if you do believe in like a higher power and a god and some sort of divine creation, like, you're already doing that. If you're someone who believes there's so much more beyond like human life and what we're doing right here, if you think there's a life beyond this, after, in parallel to, whatever the fuck, then you are currently just sort of accepting, like, really mundane life in an amazing, extraordinary universe.
But I think, like, it could also be like, the character trait square where there's like lawful good, lawful
it's
evil.
the D&D class
like
thing.
I think they're only like, it'll all dwindle down to 2 corners. It'll be the lawful good and the chaotic evil.
Yeah.
So, like, those two, there's not really going to be a whole lot of middle ground. Oh, didn't mean to hit the mic.
That's okay.
Not going to be a whole lot of middle ground there. So, like, even people who aren't religious or anything will come to be like, well, these rules are put in place and they've worked for as long as I've known. And might as well just play the game,
Yeah. I on the other hand don't think it's going to be like a hard one or the other.
Yeah.
I think there will be people like me who would test the limits, but not necessarily to an extent that, like, I'm gonna really fuck over other people.
Yeah.
Because, like, we would all be aware of the fact that, yes, this is a simulation, but it feels real to us and it feels real to every other person in here, even if we are just fucking binary in a fucking microchip or whatever.
Right.
but I would still be like, okay, so what the fuck can I do?
Yeah.
Which I think is how I live my life in general. Like, what can I get away with without hurting anyone else? Like, just to make my shit easier and more enjoyable.
And that's, I mean, I think it'll be kind of like a game of Sims, and where like, I mean, Sims don't know that they're in a simulation, obviously, but I mean, it's like once I was playing and my Sim put her baby in the oven, and then the whole house caught on fire. And, you know, like they don't have feelings. Like, I think it'll be I think people will start to kind of get numb to feelings and everything. Like, you know, if you know, like, it'd be like if someone proved that like heaven or like the fucking 72 virgins or whatever, or you know, anything else from any other religions existed. If they could prove that,
there
people would be
fucking
like
Avicii, levels of hell
exactly.
and shit.
Like, you wouldn't be like, oh,
you'd change your tune real quick. Now here, let me let me present this. Okay, so that's sort of how humanity could act. You'd have people going pretty much one way or the other, some people in between perhaps. What do you think the creators would do? Do you think they would shut it down and be like, oh, that's fucked. Everyone knows that they're in a simulation and they're going buck the fuck wild. Shut it down, let's start over? Or do you think they'd be like, fuck it, let's see how this plays out?
I think that would kind of be a little more of what it'd be like if an ant farm became self-aware. You know, you'd let them build their piles and everything, but as soon as they get close to escaping, that's when you'd shake it.
Really?
You know, like, I
think that if an ant farm became self-aware, I'd like to imagine that they become like that nasty ant monster on Rick and Morty that's like the human. What is his name? I don't remember.
I haven't
it's
seen
a person
3.
that's literally made out of ants, and it's really nasty. But he's like part of like their parody of like Marvel superhero. What are they called? Avengers.
Oh yeah.
So they have like this Avengers parody episode, and it's like one of the superheroes is just a lot of ants. I think that's his name, is like a bunch of ants, or
is it in the
it's
new
called
season?
like 2 billion ants or something like that.
Is it in the new season?
I don't know which season.
I haven't seen the new season. I've only seen 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, it must have been in one of the other. It was in 3, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it
I've
was
seen
one of the
Ants
new
My
ones.
Eyes Johnson.
Yeah, that's a real one. That's
in real life.
that exists. That's a fact because we live in a simulation.
Yeah.
I wonder if in a simulation, everything that we create, like where that would go. Like, is that stored? Okay, so here's another thing that I wanted to bring up. That's side note, because I was just sort of saying words and it doesn't make much sense now that I think about it. I would need more time to develop that thought, I guess. But here's a thought that I have already developed.
Right.
No, I haven't, but I thought of it.
Well, think it out loud.
I'm trying to, but I just already fucking forgot it. Oh, okay. So think about like death and ghosts and stuff. Whenever you record a video, on a camera to a memory card, basically what's happening is you are overwriting space. There's X amount of space on that memory card. When you delete any files from that memory card, they're not actually gone. They are still stored. You've just given the memory card permission to overwrite the files. So when you think of things like overpopulation, things like ghosts, it might in some way go back to the same sort of like writing system that would be our simulation, like on that computer. Maybe that's why there's still stuff left over. Maybe that's why you remember afterlives, is because your memory, you're writing over someone else's life.
You like remember past lives?
Yeah, what I say, afterlife?
Yeah.
Shit.
Like,
no.
I remember the future.
I remember, well, if you believe in past lives, then you actually could remember an afterlife. If it was like a brief little system where you're like in the file cabinet and they're like, okay, now you're going to India.
Oh, St. Peter. Oh, no.
So, yeah, that's kind of what I think. Like, there's just so many different things in the world. Like I said earlier, so many anomalies that could be explained through
and
you
are right. There are so many things in the world.
And it's like, are they all made of computer chips and bits and bytes?
Or potato chips and bites of potato chips.
And you take a bite of the potato chip and then you know.
What about the chocolate chips?
Chocolate chips, if you put the chocolate chip in the
Chunky
potato
monkeys.
chip, it's going to get all runny and brown everywhere.
Says who?
Well,
Have you tried it?
That's what we've done some tests. I have actually built a really elaborate program to simulate what would happen if you cooked chocolate chips into potato chips.
Cool, let me see it.
And it said the result is not good. So I just went ahead. After I saw the end result, I knew that I could never let humanity be subjected to that. So I deleted it.
You're showing me that on your screen right now. That the whole program. Wow. That's really in depth. You can see every little like crevice in the potato chips.
So that's why I have to get rid of this forever because nobody can ever see this.
But wait, you could choose from Pringles and Ruffles and Lay's?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, I really went in there. We even got sweet potato chips. We got fucking beet chips.
Beet chips. Oh,
weird shit going on there.
Do you have veggie straws or are they coming out in the next update?
Yeah, we got veggie straws. It's early because here's the thing about the veggie straw. You can't cook the chocolate chip in the veggie straw. You have to make the veggie straw first and then just shove the chocolate chips inside. And so it just turns out a little bit different than the others.
I mean,
so we're still trying to code that.
Yeah.
It's...
Yeah, no,
but it's horrifying. So I do have to get rid of this, and nobody can ever see it.
Right? Oh shit! There it goes, and now it's gone.
Now
forever.
It's gone forever.
Oh shit! So, but it's not gone forever.
You're right. It's just available for rewrite.
We're overriding that with our stupid podcast on right now.
That's true. I'm looking at those waveforms, and I'm just watching all those chocolate chips melt away.
Goodbye, chocolate chips.
And
goodbye, white chocolate
veggie
chips.
Straws.
Oh no, not the veggie straws.
And that. Any final thoughts, Dylan, on simulation facts?
I think this life is a lie. I think that it's time to just end it.
Whoa! Okay, no. Have a different final thought. A thought that's a little bit less final than that. When I said final thoughts, I didn't mean. Oh, gotcha. That's not what I meant by that.
Gotcha. I thought you meant like. Okay. Let's think. That wasn't as loud as I thought it would be. Holy
that
smokes.
Was so quiet. Except to me, it sounded like that shook the walls. You can't say doodly-doo without peeking out the entire system. But
doodly-doo. See, look at that.
I don't know how that happened.
Look at that.
That's different.
Wow. Okay, so science is a lie.
Science is a lie. Everything's fake.
Everything's fake.
Everything's computers. I know Kung Fu.
I'm the only real thing alive. Technically, I'm your host, and Ty's not even a co-host because he doesn't exist. Ty, what are your final thoughts?
Man, I really do.
That's good. That's
I
good.
really do. I think that
I'll quote you for saying that.
I agree that it's just the facts are there, and I think it's a fact that I don't know all the facts.
Well, but I mean, it's kind of counterproductive to agree with the facts.
Yeah, well, you would think so, but there are plenty of people who just don't. So
Bush did 9/11.
Yeah, fact.
Some
people don't agree. There's entire documentaries about how people just don't agree with that fact.
Exactly, and it's no facts of the actual attacks. It's just people saying, "I don't agree with it."
That's the whole documentary. They're like crashing a plane into the. I don't agree with that.
Credit scroll.
Yep, that's the end. Yeah, so I think that's kind of where we are, where we stand on simulation hypothesis. Is that. Fuck, it's all fucked. I don't fucking know.
Where the world stands too, since they're all facts.
The world stands on two legs, and that's what they won't tell you. And we're gonna dive into that next week on Flat Earth Theory. So guys, now it's time. We're going to move on to our next segment, which is
every 80s song put and played back to back is
tells the story of the Wizard of
Oz. Yeah.
I was jokingly just reading the first thing that came up on my screen.
What does sound display?
I have no fucking
Is that an ad?
clue. No, I had a Skillshare tab open.
Oh, quit it.
Fuck. Okay.
This is so unprofessional, guys.
So every single top Billboard 80s song played back to back tells the story of the Wizard of Oz.
Yep.
Fact. And today we are going to be looking at number 6 in the lineup of 1980, and that is Queen, Crazy Little Thing Called Love.
So one question that I've had is every song on this list just from the year 1980, or is it from the whole decade?
This is from the year 1980, and we're on number 6.
Out of 100.
Yep.
And we still got 9 more years to go.
Yeah. So we gotta
make it to at least 1,000. Oh God.
Yeah, we gotta get there, man. So
and we're still like we're like a good 10th of the way through the movie already.
Yeah, we're pretty far
at
in.
6/1000ths of the way through the 80s. I was like,
well, here's the thing. Remember, we were going to do like this topic as the entire podcast, and we were going to do like 5 episodes a week, and we were like, yeah, we could realistically do this in like X amount of years. I did the math and I don't remember now. It was like 20 years.
Well, let's see. Okay, so if we do 52 weeks, no vacations because vacations are for chumps.
Yeah,
so 50. Chumped. So it'll be, what is that? 1,000 because it's 100 over 10 years.
Oh, it's 9,000. Oh no, it's 10,000.
It's 10,000.
No, 1, it's 1,000.
Yeah, divided by 52. It'd only take us 19 years. 19
years. That's what I was thinking. That's if we did 5 a week, and we're doing 1 a week.
That's if we do 1 a week.
Oh,
if
that's
we do,
1 a week.
If we do 5 a week, that'd be like the 3 years. Divided by 3, divided by 5. Yeah, 3.8 years.
Yeah, so that was the one that originally we were gonna do. But yeah, we can get there in 20 years if we just keep going this way.
Right, guys, keep us going through Patreon, PayPal. You can give me cash at my
Cash
address.
App.
My address.
Nope. Now, guys, let's take a moment and listen to "Crazy Little Thing Called Love" by Queen, and we will be right.
You can also listen
back
to the Dwight Yoakam version because it has the same lyrics.
Yeah, listen to whichever version you can get on a fucking recorder cover for all I care. We'll be right back. Okay, we are back. We just listened to "Crazy Little Thing Called Love," but then we sort of realized that neither of us have seen The Wizard of Oz in quite a while.
Okay, fun. No.
So then I was thinking about the movie, and I was like, wait, we were talking about the Wicked Witch, and we were talking about Glinda. We couldn't decide what she was called. And then I remembered how everyone in the original story correlates to people in Oz, and I was like, fuck, is the Witch of the East, Glinda, is she Auntie Em?
And we will find out next week on the podcast. No, we'll have a whole episode over that conspiracy. No, Auntie Em is played by Clara Blandick, which her IMDb profile picture looks like she is from the 1830s.
Perfect.
And Glinda, spelled with an I.
Wow.
Is played by Billy Burke, who I've heard that name before.
I'm just wondering who she's supposed to represent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Margaret Hamilton plays the Wicked Witch of the West and Miss Gulch.
Mm-hmm.
Terry plays Toto.
So
as Toto. That's what it says.
Terry Toto.
As Toto. Like Toto as Toto? No, his real name's Terry. Do you think he's dead?
Jesus. Yeah, definitely.
Why?
Because it's an old ass dog, man.
Can dogs not live forever?
No.
Says who? That's really depressing.
Says a simulation. I don't know. I didn't write the code.
Shit, I did.
So, A Crazy Little Thing Called Love by Queen. We all just listened to it. And Dylan, what are your facts?
The facts are... I mentioned a second ago that I think that, or not that I think, it is about, when they meet the Tin Man.
Tin Man.
Because they're trying to give him a heart so he can love, right? So
he wants the heart.
Right. And so his perception of love is a little weird. It's a little crazy. It's a crazy little thing called love that he has had no contact with. I mean, as you see in the movie, which again, we haven't seen in quite some while, he is a very violent being. He cuts down all the munchkins.
Wow.
So he has no concept of love. And I think, kind of another underlying fact is that, it's by Queen.
Yeah.
And who is the Queen of Oz? It's Glinda.
Yeah.
And so therefore Glinda, good job, Glinda. You are the writer of the song.
Good job, Glinda. I totally agree. I absolutely think that it's about the Tin Man. I think, there's some other lyrics in here indicative of that. I gotta be cool, relax, get hip, it shakes all over, I gotta get on my tracks. He's talking about the fact that they find him all rusted up. He's got to get there. He's got to get back to it. He's got to come back to the times. If he wants any kind of love, he's got to fucking take a long ride on his motorbike until he's ready. Ready to get to Oz.
Take it from verse 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Or stanza, more.
Yeah, these are. I wouldn't necessarily say a
No.
verse.
Scroll back down.
Okay.
Down. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Finish your thoughts.
No, you're good.
Right there. Take a backseat hitchhike. In between those words, it says and that's kind of the sound that it makes whenever he's creaking.
Mm-hmm.
Before he has the oil put in him. It's more of a.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That was so accurate.
Mm-hmm.
That was wow. That's some good Foley work.
Yeah, I mean, I that's what I did for a living. That's how I have my credentials in Hollywood.
That's why you're here is for all the you wouldn't know, but our theme song, our transition songs, everything is actually all beatboxing from Dylan, and he does it live.
Exactly. The intro song is actually me. I do a Ty Turner impression.
Yep.
For the
I'm not even talking in that.
Right. He actually isn't even talking in the podcast. It's all me by myself.
It's puppetry, and if you could, it'd be so much more impressive if we had the equipment to show video.
Right, but that's out of our budget. This is not a video. We don't have anything to do
Right,
with
so
video.
you're just gonna have to listen and take our word for it. But my mouth is not moving at all.
Like I said earlier, Ty doesn't even exist. So
I don't exist. So Dylan's talking, and I'm moving my mouth, but my mouth is both moving and not moving at the same time.
I'm like
Schrodinger's puppet.
a stringler, or
A string.
is that what it was?
A stringle dingle. I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah,
Stringling.
stringling.
Yeah, I'm a stringling.
He's a big old stringling, and this has been the Conspiracy Facts podcast. Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah.
Oh my god, thank you sponsors, thank you Adorable Aesthetic, thank you Patreon fam, everyone who is supporting the podcast or me in general on Patreon, and thank you to everyone who buys my merch.
And go buy my merch.
And Dylan doesn't have
I have
merch.
shirts that say. We're just gonna replay the clip from whatever I said.
I'm not doing the editing for that. No,
I don't remember what it said.
I don't remember what it
was. It was the Elon Musk one?
technologizing my mind.
Yeah,
or something.
technologize your mind.
Yeah. Shirts, podcast shirts coming soon.
All they are is they're gonna be like white Hanes T-shirts I get from Walmart, and I'm gonna draw on them in crayon
Sharpie marker
or
whatever you can find.
Yeah,
that day.
I have a popsicle stick. Pull that right.
Just tape it to there.
Technologize your mind. That's gonna be a new fashion statement. A white Hanes T-shirt with popsicle sticks
Taped to it.
taped to it.
Beautiful. Thank you guys. And the end.
The end. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.